Welcome back, everyone. What better way to start a video than by reading from the Book of Medicine from one of Islam's most trusted hadith collections? Muhammad said, "If a fly falls in the vessel of any one of you, let him dunk that fly all the way in and then throw it away. For in one of its wings there is a disease, and in the other there is healing." Similar statements are found in multiple hadith collections. While even some popular Muslim apologists are now abandoning the notion of cutting-edge science in the Hadith, in the recent past, Islamic scientists have attempted to provide some sort of scientific credibility to Muhammad's statements. In a recent example from a Journal of Islamic Science and Technology, let's take a few seconds and recognize all of the insights that the Islamic worldview has bequeathed to science and technology. Yeah, I thought so. Anyway, in a recent Islamic Science article, the authors note some difficulties with this hadith. For example, the housefly is a vector of disease-causing bacteria because of its habit of perching and feeding on various substrates of pathogenic bacteria. His role as a disease carrier contradicts the hadith narrated by Bukhari, which is what we just read. So what is the solution? Well, first, the science of fly wings has to be definitively settled, and then, only then, get this, the hadith can be interpreted. These results, referring to ones from prior studies, have not been able to prove with certainty the presence of antidotes or antimicrobials on the fly's right wing. The right wing is the one that's supposed to have the cure. It is necessary to develop and detect the types of antibiotics on the right wing so that the meaning of the hadith is clear. And in concluding the least useful article ever published, the authors again note that antimicrobials are originated from bacteria on both wings and inhibit pathogens in both wings, again contradicting the hadith. Thus, more studies need to be done to prove the hadith and save Muhammad from contradicting science. Meanwhile, other scientists are doing useful stuff. If you're familiar with science and the hadith, you know how this goes. As we've seen in other videos, truckloads of ancient Greco-Roman science were imported into the hadith and placed on the lips of Muhammad. Centuries later, Muslim scholars frequently refer to figures like Galen and Aristotle, showing the lasting impact of these famous authorities. Recall that this science was observational and experimental. You can see where a fly lands, everywhere from feces to garbage to dead animals, and infer something about them carrying disease, yet they seem to thrive in these dirty environments. You can crush a fly and apply it to a scorpion sting and see if it helps, or maybe make fly ointment and see if it cures eye problems. Observe and experiment. So Greco-Roman science is the well from which the hadith authors drank deeply. Regarding the hadith of the fly specifically, Oded Zinger's 2016 journal article names some likely suspects. Here's Pliny writing about an insect probably now known as the Spanish fly, one of several insects used in part to treat skin problems. But herein arises a much disputed question, for the Acantharis taken in drink is a poison, causing excruciating pain in the bladder. But there is no doubt that, with juice of Timonian grapes, sheep suet, or that of a she-goat, an external application is beneficial. In what part of the Acantharidum itself the poison lies, authorities disagree. Some think in the feet and in the head, but others say not. The only point agreed upon is that wherever the poison lies, their wings help. The article continues, Pliny seems to be conveying here information on a widespread debate in Greek medicine. Indeed, both Galen and Dioscorides mention that some physicians treat people who swallowed the body of a Spanish fly with their wings and feet. Furthermore, knowledge of this was not confined to medical circles. In his discussion on how to study poetry, Plutarch compares the means for rectifying a statement, which are afforded by the words that lie near, to the fact that the blister fly is deadly, but its feet and wings are helpful to counteract its potent effect. This understanding of the Spanish fly as being both poisonous and its own antidote, especially the notion that the wings can counteract swallowing the body, is the best candidate so far for the origin of the zoological information found in the Hadith. Zinger also notes that the medieval scholar Al-Thahabi said that physicians in the Greco-Roman tradition theorized that Cantharis had disease in one wing and cure in the other. This is likely an allusion to the sorts of medical theories we just cited. So what are the options for modern Muslims when it comes to this indisputably authentic hadith? Well, first, acknowledge science conflicts with the fly hadith and many others, and maybe eventually try to find some interpretation that fits. That's the approach of the Islamic Science article I cited earlier. Now that's obviously circular and makes the hadith completely superfluous. You don't need science to help reinterpret the hadith so that you can use the hadith to show how it proves modern science. Second, Muslims can attempt to distance themselves from this whole science in the Islamic sources nonsense. However, they still can't ignore the glaring issues raised by the Islamic sources, borrowing everything from Greco-Roman medicine to rabbinic legend and beyond, and putting it on the lips of Muhammad. This casts severe doubt on Islam's most trusted sources. Finally, Muslims can reject the Hadith and all the other embarrassing ones, of which there are many. However, such an approach has been harshly criticized by Islamic authorities. To reject the Hadith is to reject Islam. To reject Muhammad in part is to reject him completely. My prayer for all Muslims, incidentally. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.